Hey guys, Gate here with the Taotie raid guide, a new mechanics-based raid in 3.2 just like the previous Julian raid, where a whole team of free-to-play can clear purely off mechanics. However, this time, whale DPS is appreciated and necessary if you want to place high on the leaderboards and get that top 8, top 24, or top 100 title. And also, matchmaking is turned off this time, which is a good thing, as you definitely don't want to match with clueless people. Trust me on this one. Let's begin by diving into the mechanics of the boss. Taotie is one of the 4 perils in ancient Chinese mythology, a creature that represents greed and gluttony, which is very fitting to this raid, where every single mechanic has something to do with healing the boss. So let's talk about each of the healing mechanics and how to counter them. Throughout the entire boss fight, mushrooms like this one will spawn randomly on the map. If left unchecked and it fully matures, it will be consumed by the boss and heal it. To prevent that from happening, all you gotta do is run over and step on it. Doing so will also heal you and reduce your Gring bite bar. This mushroom duty will be the primary job of all the off tanks on shatter duty, while waiting for the shield. Mechanic number 2, Ethereal Link. Throughout the entire boss fight, with the first time happening around 9 minutes 15 seconds on the clock to the top left, the boss will link itself with 2 players prioritizing the closest DPS or healers. And after a while, heal itself if the link is not broken. To break the link, all you gotta do is run away from the boss. Breaking the link will also do a good amount of damage to the boss, which adds to your personal DPS meter. This mechanic will occur every 30 seconds, so every time you see 15 or 45 seconds on the clock, be prepared to run away and break the link. Besides the first 2 mechanics that always happen, the rest will happen in phases, so let's break this boss down into 3 phases: the pre-shield phase, the shield phase, and the after shield broken phase. Pre-shield phase. During the pre-shield phase, there is one additional mechanic on top of the previous 2, and that is a Devourer. The boss will mark the main tank, who is the aggro target, with a giant red AoE marker. 10 seconds later, any target caught in the red AoE will heal the boss after it sets. This apparently includes the boss itself, so take it away from the boss and other players. The main tank can easily dash away from the AoE once it sets. Now let's move on to the shield phase. Every 2 minutes, with the first happening at around 8 minutes 40 on the clock, Taotie will generate a shield and begin channeling. This will also impair the movement speed of players. If the shield is not broken in time, you will basically team wipe. So everyone needs to be around the boss or have a grapple ready to get near the boss and assist in shield breaking, ASAP. After you break the shield, don't go back to your mushroom duty just yet. We have another mechanic to worry about, which is named Gluttony. The boss, immediately after breaking his shield, will produce a cone-shaped feast AoE in front of him, and will mark the players either with a blue indicator, Food of Hunger, or red indicator, Food of Gluttony, for a total of 4 red and 4 blue indicators. Red indicators are prioritized on dead players or tanks, while blue indicators are prioritized on the healers and DPS, which means if you have 4 players left, you will have 0 red and 4 blue. If the boss ends up feasting on blue indicators, he will be healed, whereas feasting on red indicators will deal damage to it. On top of that, feasting on all 4 red indicators, which means no one can be dead, will cause the boss to take more damage. After the feast, players that failed the mechanic and kept the red indicator will take massive damage, while players with the blue indicators will be rewarded with a damage buff. And this is where you burst the boss down. That's it to all the important mechanics of the boss. Now that you're familiar with the mechanics, let's break it down by roles and what you should be doing as your role. On the screen right now is a list of all the roles and what you should be doing, along with suggested weapon builds. A free-to-play team with the goal of just clearing in mind should be running 6 tanks and 2 healers, or maybe 5 tanks and 3 healers. For teams trying to speedrun for leaderboards, 2 tanks should be sufficient, along with 2 healers and 4 DPS. Feel free to pause and read, but I'm going to move on to the tips for each role. First off, some tips for tanks, the most important role on the team. The shatter rotation for tanks should be pre-stacking Saki resets to 3 or 4 if you have Saki, and then you grapple into the boss or Saki skill into the boss if at 3 stacks, and then you hologram, Shiro skill with the Saki reset, and then do 3 dash attacks. This will produce about 4 Shiro rings, plenty enough to shatter the boss if everyone does it. For the tanks that are running Ganono, you want to have the Ganono discharge ready, or you want to have the grapple ready to charge while you grapple the boss, and then you want a Ganono discharge into the Ganono skill into the attack hold to shatter. Additionally, for the main tank, try to build some altar resistance if possible, and step on nearby mushrooms to clear Grain Bite if need be. Finally, do not Fantasia the boss near the shield timer, as that will delay the shield from coming up and cost you precious clear time. Moving on to healer tips. For healers, try to be directly next to the boss at all times, just not in front of it. This allows you to be more likely selected to be the link target, so you can break the link instead of the DPS. All healers should cast Coco Discharge and Skill when the shield is up. Also, cast Team Buff Relics after the Feast mechanic when all the DPS get their damage buff. Finally, do not use Aqua Shackles when the boss is nearing the shield timer. Otherwise, try to stagger the shackles with the other healers for maximum DPS. Finally, tip for DPS. Very important. Focus on doing mechanics. Focus on doing mechanics. Focus on doing mechanics. I said it 3 times. If you can't see the link from the boss, turn down your effects in the settings. Otherwise, bring grapple to break the link and get back into action ASAP. Also, try to DPS at the back or to the side of the boss that's furthest from the wall, so you have ample room to break the link if you get it. That's it to the Taotie raid. Hopefully this is helpful, and if you find any other interesting mechanics and tips, feel free to share it in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to all the randoms in your party so they can get educated before the raid. Finally, here's my DPS POV, where we took rank 3 in our server to finish it off. Enjoy. Super fucking relaxing. They added an S to year? Wait, did they? You serious about that? Ain't no fucking way, right? I mean, the devs do watch my stream sometimes, but like, you know, I wasn't expecting that. And they usually tell me. Channel the raid, thank you, appreciate it. Break? Break? Did I break? Did I break?
看好了，胜负已决。
Hello, hello, hello.
胜负已决，全力解决，全力解决，暗示。胜负已决，全力解决，全力解决。全力解决。看好了，别挡路。
Can we do it? Pog? Execute? One more chain break? Execute? It's an execute rain. How fast was that? 14.5 bill. I did a lot more actually. Pog? Might be rank 3 actually. I didn't heal, right? Did you guys watch the health bar? I broke the chain on time, right? 617. Damn, rank 3.